Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the One Bed at a Time podcast. This is your host, the Tiamat of podcast, Draco. I am joined, of course, by my lovely band of zombie killing friends, Girthworm Jim. Hey, Girthworm Jim.
Hello, I'm a Leo.
And Beowulf. Hello, Beowulf.
Hi there, I exist in this dimension.
Yep. And we today are going to have ourselves a two-parter. Today we're going to talk about Marvel. Marvel comics, Marvel games, Marvel movies, and everything great about them. Except we are not going to talk about the MCU whatsoever. Not going to touch it. Just everything else that's great about Marvel. And how it has impacted our lives. Because we need to we need to show the love. A lot of people only know Marvel about the movies, but it has a rich history, and it's still doing good shit to this day. So, let's kick it off with... We're not going to really touch any news. Not a lot of news happened this week. Everyone's talking about the stonks. We don't need to talk about the stonks.
Oh,
I want to talk about the spirit of Marvel. So, let's go around. Beowulf. When
Um,
was the first time? What was your earliest memory of being touched by the spirit of Marvel?
all right, so this is going to be a fun one here. So everyone knows the X-Men cartoon, right? Good
absolutely.
old '90s Jubilee, all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
One of the best intros to an animated series.
Yeah, that wasn't my first one. The first experience that I remember having with a Marvel property was the pilot to the show that never went off the ground called Pride of the X-Men.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I had like the VHS to it, and it was ah, I don't know how to describe it. I very much remember focus was on Kitty Pride, and I all I remember about it is that Nightcrawler was simping really hard for her.
Pride of the X-Men. I
Yeah,
need to
check
write.
check that out. It's got an opening. It definitely has an opening.
All right, go on, go on.
But after that, I experienced the actual X-Men cartoon, which if you've ever gone back to that, it's kind of rough to watch nowadays. It's very much a product of its time. It and Spider-Man. Um, Beyond that, I the rest is kind of hazy.
Okay, all right, all right. And for you, Jim, when was the
Yeah,
first time?
the first time, or like, okay, so I'll give you the first time, but also like, there's a couple of first times because like I just kind of
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah. What started you on the path?
well inadvertently. I saw Howard the Duck. Um,
Yes.
he,
The the
yeah,
live action George Lucas one.
you got it.
Okay.
Because we had a shit ton of tapes back in the day because we were raised pretty poor, and my mom knew the cable bill was going out, so her ass would record everything like a weirdo. And Howard the Duck was on one of those tapes, and I remember seeing it and being like, "Damn, that's weird." But one of my first like true interactions where I was like, "Damn, Marvel, they're awesome," was of course the X-Men, and then also the Amazing Spider-Man. Those two animated series felt like they were made by the same studio. It captured the action and superheroes in Marvel for me. And so I always, as soon as I saw that, because the DC cartoons that were out for me that I was watching was like the old ass Super Justice League friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't caught up to the times of me growing up. So like the X Men and the Amazing Spider Man, that one was like, Yeah, I think these guys are fucking great.
Okay. All right. All right. Uh, for me, it definitely was the Amazing Spider-Man show.
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll never forget seeing Blade show up for the first time in that show and having no idea who he is or what the fuck's going on. All I know is that Morbius is a simp and a little shit. Uh, and then, yeah, the first Blade movie comes out and it's a fucking banger.
It truly was, man.
And I saw it when it came out.
Wow.
Like, I saw it when I was 8.
Okay. I'm sorry. But how? Your parents took you to that?
No, they did not. I was being babysat by the time by a
The worst
friend of my
babysitter in the
parents who
country.
had kids, who were two little shits. And we all were like, "Yo, fucking, let's go see Blade." And their dad was like, "Ah, fuck it, I want to see Blade."
Oh yeah.
So we saw Blade. God damn, changed my fucking life.
That is hilarious. That,
Blade, much like Howard the Duck, does not feel like a superhero movie.
Yes,
no, no.
I did see Howard the Duck before then, obviously,
Hmm.
but
But see, again, I didn't know that was Marvel. I just saw it.
right.
But like, now figuring out like, damn, that's crazy. But yeah. And one of my first Marvel movies, 100% was Blade. Like if we're going to movies. But shows that first impact was the X-Men, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. It was so
Yeah, I missed out on Blade. The first like movies that I saw that was Marvel was the Spider-Man trilogy.
Hmm.
that's okay. You know what I mean? Like that's not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Just put out
exactly.
on.
Mhm.
That's everyone's go-to. Um,
I mean, after Blade, a close one for me was next the X-Men movies. That's what I kind of followed after that. And then I
oh
got
yeah,
into Spider-Man for me.
yeah. I definitely got into X-Men Evolution when that came out.
Oh yeah, me too.
Um,
Dude, I love
Man,
the
I hope
cast
that's
with
still good.
Halle
now were
Berry and Hugh
there
Jackman. Like Patrick Stewart. I like that.
fucking funny story about Hugh Jackman in the first X-Men movie? You know how he like snarls and like squint, like
Squats.
not squats, like he curl. I don't even know how to describe it. Like he looks into the camera with his like brows down, like he's a fucking animal, like he's a
Okay.
fucking wolf.
Hmm.
And the director's like, "That's good, that's good. Like, why do you keep doing that? Like, how are you?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, because wolves, trying to be like the animal, the wolf, because Wolverine, not exactly an animal, but." And the director's like, "The Wolverine is an animal, dude." And Hugh Jackman's like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, Wolverine is an animal." Hugh Jackman did not know that Wolverines were a real animal during the filming of the first X-Men movie.
Yeah. Pardon my ignorance about animal stuff, but aren't Wolverines aggressive little shits too? Like they'll snarl
They're
and shit at you.
super aggressive
Yeah.
and they're strong as fuck. They're like small bears,
Hmm.
but bears don't fuck with them. um, yeah. What? Okay. What games were out? Like, what was your first Marvel game?
God, Maximum Carnage. That was it.
the
Mm.
X the
Okay.
X-Men game where you got to pick the characters and like it was really fucking hard. So like you could run so like when you picked Wolverine, you went through Wolverine stage. When you went to pick Storm, you went through her stage. It was on Super Nintendo, I believe, or Sega, one of those.
I think it was Sega.
I think it's Sega. Dude, it was so hard. I remember being like, dang, this is one of the toughest games. It was so
Hmm.
and then the Spider-Man game was lit. It was I felt it was a little ahead of his time because he was web swinging. I was like, damn, dude. It was just like to block, 2D from block to block, but like it still felt smooth for what it was.
I think I did play. Okay, so the first time was the Blade video game, the first one. No one talks about that shit. I remember it
What?
being almost super hard to even get a copy of that shit.
for the PlayStation.
So rare. I'm pretty sure it was PlayStation because it was 3-dimensional. Like, it was 3D.
Okay.
There is a legit Blade game.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures right now.
Hurry up, Craig. We gotta get him back.
Woof. Yeah. Somehow it looks probably better than the Blade 2 game. Don't know how they pulled that off. Then, but I didn't own it. I only played it for one night because some place where I was had it. I remember the Wolverine, a really good Wolverine game. Again, didn't own, played it a little bit. Was roped into playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at some point back in the day. Okay. First Marvel game that I owned. Trying to remember. I don't know if I owned a fucking Marvel game back in the day.
Well, sucks.
I don't know if you guys owned any good Marvel games.
The Spider-Man one that was based off the movie.
Oh shit, you're totally right. Definitely the first. Oh, I think because I know that there's a cheat code where you could, because when you completely beat the Spider-Man game, you could put the cheat code in and you could play the entire game again as the Green Goblin.
Yeah, and that was actually amazing because it changed the story. Like he had his,
Oh yeah.
it was Harry, and he had his own lines, and yeah, it was a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Pretty sure I rented that game, played shit of it. Go
also,
on.
quick timeout. I can hear your game audio.
It's done. Sorry about that. I caught that too. I was like,
Yeah, I'm not playing my game. I'm watching Pride of the X-Men right now.
Yeah, you need to hear that opening at some point.
I need to hear it.
You have to hear
I
it.
will hear it
Yes, later.
I'm only watching how fucking bad it is right
Yeah,
now.
it's
with the fucking
special.
G.I. Joe shit. All right, Jim,
yes.
did you say a game? No.
No, the one game I owned, again, I had a Sega, and so the first like Marvel game I owned was that X-Men game. I played
Okay. Oh, yeah,
the
right.
hell out of it, and then I got the Spider-Man one. Oh, and then there was what else did I play, dude? There was one where Iron Man was in it, and it was an Avengers one. But again, Super Nintendo, Sega, I forgot what it was. I'm gonna look up the title. I'll tell you exactly what it was. Those games were so fun, man. I enjoyed the piss out of it.
All right.
Oh, I also own Spider-Man on N64.
Oh, I
Nice.
remember that one.
Yeah.
Holy shit! The Spider-Man game for the amazing TV show.
Oh, wasn't that? Hold on. Was that on Super Nintendo?
That was on PlayStation, dude.
Right.
It might have had a port. I just remember I had a demo disc back in the day and I had Spider-Man on it, and I would play the shit out of that. And every time at the end, the boss battle was Scorpion.
You know what? I remember Spider-Man, the animated series game. I remember that. That was.
I only had the demo disc.
Dude, so Craig, you own Maximum Carnage?
I think I rented it.
Okay, because it
Okay.
came in the red, all red Super NES like uh game container. What do I want to call it? It was a
Cartridge?
cartridge. Yes, it was a red cartridge, all red Maximum Carnage cartridge. It was sick looking.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Super Nintendo was just a little bit ahead of my time, funny enough. So I do remember playing a lot of games on it, and mostly like Donkey Kong and Super Mario World, but hey, a lot of my memories from childhood was the Nintendo 64.
Oh, that's why I remember that. So Spider-Man and X-Men was a game together. That's why I remember them so distinctly. So it was actually one game. I remember playing that game over and over and over.
Hmm.
Came out in 1992. Spider-Man X-Men. Yeah, it was so cool. And this is the Wolverine with the brown and yellow suit. It was
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
classic.
it was a classic, man. It makes me literally want to save up for it. SNES.
All right, cool. Now, let's talk about the first comics, Marvel comics we ever read. Um, I got late into Marvel comics, so I'll go last. Uh, Jim,
Well,
go ahead.
let's
Uh,
see. So the Marvel comics that I received were so I didn't necessarily go to any comic shops or anything. I just kind of found them from people from who maybe moved out from like their little apartment where I lived, or like a friend gave it to me. So there were always these really obscure ones. To be honest, I think one of the first ones I read, and I don't even know if it's Marvel, and I could be completely wrong. But do you guys remember an animated show on MTV of like this woman assassin who had like really big boobs and like what was it?
Oh,
It was a really like adult like
I know what
graphic.
he's talking about.
Do you know what I'm saying? I can't even.
is that the one with like the silver shit on her,
Oh
and that's
man,
like her costume is just maybe some ripped jeans
it's
and like
not
a
jeans.
little bit of
She's in like
silver?
leather, dude. It's almost.
Okay,
It
you
feels
know
like
what?
dominatrix like feel, dude. It was well, like do you
Fem Nikita?
Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux.
Aeon
I don't think that's.
Flux.
I don't think
Oh
that's
shit.
Marvel.
I don't
No,
think
it's
that's
I don't
not.
think
Marvel.
It's
that's
not.
Marvel.
That's an original property.
Right, dude.
That's not
So I distinctly remember that comic. Like, damn, what is this? This feels like I'm not supposed to have this. um, but I guess one of the first few comics, if I really think back, um, shoot, man, it's going to be one of those old, like I think it was an old Wolverine comic. I remember because he was fighting Sabretooth. And I remember them showing how graphic that fight was between them and watching him bleed and stuff like that. So if I had to guess,
Mm,
it was I don't know which volume it was, but it was an Wolverine comic.
okay, okay. Did you keep up with it,
No, to
or
be honest, I
did you?
kind of hopped back and forth, and my interest at that point was video games because I got just so excited about what they were, and so I kind of
Hmm.
gravitated towards those.
All right, Craig. What about you?
You want to talk about starting late? The first comic that I read was Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't read much of it. It was only the first couple of issues. Well, okay, that's the first Marvel comic. I read other stuff, but that's not Marvel. So,
Exactly.
mhm. Yeah, I read a couple issues of that. I dropped off, and I think the next series of Marvel comics I read was fucking Punisher Max.
Well, okay, okay. Is that the one where he's black for a week, or is that
No,
different?
no, that's regular comics.
Okay.
Now, Punisher Max is like that's what all the later Punisher stuff is based off of because I think, don't quote me on this, I think that's the first one where he wears the T-shirt.
Oh, okay. Um, the first comic of Marvel that I read was not even that long ago. A couple years ago. I got out of work, was kind of stuck where I was because I didn't have transportation. So I walked over to a fucking bookstore and I just picked up every Deadpool comic. You know, the hardcovers that had multiple issues in them. I just grabbed each different one and I just sat down and I went through all of Deadpool that I could.
Mm.
So yeah, I was that was definitely after Deadpool won the movie. Maybe slightly before, maybe it had just come out. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I want to fucking read up on Deadpool because Deadpool kind of came out of nowhere for me.
I
And I
remember
heard,
my first experience with Deadpool. Mind if I talk about it real quick?
yeah, of course.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I remember that
What a great
game.
Yeah,
game. I
because
enjoyed it.
that game is good. That game was hard to get like people together to actually play.
Hmm.
And it's so funny because you play it and you have all of these characters and they're all the standard superhero thing. And then you see Deadpool over here and you click on Deadpool and Deadpool says his Deadpool line. I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I might be a little bit presumptuous here, but I feel like Marvel Ultimate Alliance was one of the first big exposures that a more general audience had to Deadpool.
Yes. I
That's a
mean,
good one.
yeah, that's a good one. Um, all right, so we want to go into it through the years. Um, everybody remembers the Raimi movies.
Hmm.
We all know that
The
shit.
what?
The Sam Raimi, the Spider-Man Sam Raimi
Yes.
movies. Everybody remembers those. Um, and Jim, I think you've seen every bad X-Men movie.
Facts. Facts.
I don't know what good ones you haven't
I'm
seen.
just being honest with you. Yes, I've seen every bad X-Men movie.
So you have not seen Days of Future
No, sir.
Past. The fuck?
Here's the thing.
It's
I'm a
crazy, man.
sucker for big names in Hollywood, man. When they had Halle Berry, I was stuck. And not to get and I just love the cast, man. I really did. I thought they did a wonderful job. For me anyway. The story, the plot, sure. It was very, very weak. But I really enjoyed the casting and the costume. I thought they did a great job.
Oh, they did. They did. Not denying any of that. Um,
But I know that's a really shallow take. But it's an honest one. It's just I think I I found a way to really appreciate it. Just like remember when I was so skeptical about possibly watching Endgame and Infinity War and any of these Marvel movies, until you explained to me like what you need to separate the universes. The comics one thing, but like the MCU is a way different universe and it has to work out that way because of money and the X-Men can't be involved. So yeah, it's kind of my perspective.
yeah. Yeah. Um, so, going on that topic, what was your favorite Marvel movie? Do you have a
Oh
favorite.
fuck yeah! It's Spider-Man. I think it's the first Spider-Man, and I'm not even gonna lie. The soundtrack with Chad Kroger from Nickelback and that one guy who sang, "And they
Oh my
say that a
god.
hero,"
Jeez.
dude. That song gave me goosebumps when Spider-Man was doing this thing.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, but you're telling the truth though. It's super real. That shit was fire when it came
Fire! I
out.
was like, and they're watching us. I was like,
Watching
he's gonna
us.
save everyone. No one can beat Spider-Man. It was so cool.
William Dafoe in that movie is a fucking tour de force.
He is dude. He was so good. I love him. He's still alive, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hope he's in a movie soon.
Oh yeah. I hope he's in Marvel. He got to get the MCU at some point because he's too good. Craig, how about you? Your favorite Marvel movie?
From my childhood, I am assuming.
It could be from your childhood, or it could be right now.
Okay,
You could do both.
Okay, that's very easy then. Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, dude, it was great. That was an awesome movie. Like, so well done, so beautiful. It felt original, but it also felt authentic. It was awesome.
God, yeah.
Then after that, I guess I'd say Deadpool.
Oh, yeah. The first one?
Yeah. Second one I still really enjoy, but the first one is better.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I need to watch them back to back to determine which one I like more.
I think Into the Spider-Verse is slept on by a lot of people.
Oh, it absolutely
like it is really, really slept on. Like I don't think, and I saw it in theaters, and I went into it with like my expectations weren't too high, but boy, I was not because I thought it was going to be a certain way. I just didn't know enough about what I was going to see, and until I did, and I was like, this is fucking fire.
Yeah. Okay, childhood favorite Marvel movie, non MCU related, obviously, because it's before all that shit. It's got to be Blade 2. It's got to be.
That's badass, dude. The Blade movies are so.
That's my favorite director. That's Guillermo del Toro, doing what he does, turning everything, including the fucking color palette, to 11. Because the color palette in 2 is so much crazier than it is in 1. 1 is almost noir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Yeah, man. Just, oh, you want to talk about fucking soundtracks? At the end, when he's about to face off against Ron Perlman. Oh my god.
Oh, dude. Oh, it was so good.
Too good. Yeah. I will always have a place in my heart for that movie, and I don't know. I mean, right now that's kind of still the non-MCU favorite movie. It's too
That's
good.
why there's so much pressure on this. So, are they making a show or another Blade movie?
It's a movie.
No,
right?
when anyone talks about Blade, they do not. No one has mentioned show.
Oh.
They have all said movie.
Oh man, then we'll get Wesley back. Fuck it, dude. I don't want to see
No,
Bloody
fuck
Wesley.
that.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg, go ahead.
Okay. No. We're having the debate right now.
Okay.
Pro Wesley, anti Wesley.
Oh.
Terrence, you're going first.
Man,
You're pro West.
Yes, absolutely.
Wesley
I
Snipes?
am pro Snipes, my man. There is no one who can fill the shoes of the badassness that is Blade like that man. And he has never failed us each Blade movie that he has given us. Why fuck up a good thing? I understand he's old, and I get that, but it's Snipes, baby. It's Snipes.
All right, Craig, what's your rebuttal to this?
He's a fucking asshole.
Mm. And why do you say that?
He. Have either of you actually heard the stories of how he acted on the Blade 3 set?
I am intimately familiar with those
Listen,
stories.
Okay, so you
go
know.
ahead.
Here. Well, he basically sandbagged the entire thing. He spent most of his time in his trailer getting high. When he was on set, he would refuse to follow directions. There's one scene where they actually had to CGI his eyes open because he refused to open his eyes for the scene.
What?
And he was hostile towards the director, to the cast, everyone.
I'm gonna say all of that is true.
And okay, that's fair. Also, we've heard
Um,
just on a kind of side rebuttal. We've also heard horror stories about Christian Bale and how he acted on set with his cast members, and we didn't take away from the greatness of those movies. We were able to separate the two, and that's all I'm doing. I understand he's an asshole, but a lot of these greats are assholes and always have been self-centered pieces of shit.
okay. So I'm going to have to side with Jim on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to do it because I know those stories, and those stories are true. But the factor that you're missing is that he not only was the main actor of that movie, he is also the producer on those movies. And as the producer, he saw the dailies of those movies, saw that movie, the third movie's trash.
Yep.
We all know the third
It's
movie's
very
fucking trash.
bad.
Yep.
It is very
And
bad.
I'm sure that the quality of those movies justified him going, "What the fuck are we doing? I own a piece of this character. You're fucking it
All
up."
right.
And it might have been a lot. Not only, and I think the director for 3 is the same director as 1, which is crazy because he had a completely different take. And he's adding all these new characters and all this other bullshit. Because clearly Wesley did not write the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this for bonus
So
points. Who were the two side characters who shared movie posters with him?
It was Ryan Reynolds,
Yep.
who was playing Hannibal King,
Mm-hmm.
which was a good inclusion, but he fucking hated Ryan Reynolds at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I don't know her name.
You do.
I really don't.
You can say it. Because once I say it, you'll be like, "Nah, yes, I knew that." Give it a shot, Craig. Do you
Well,
remember?
Man, I don't fucking remember.
It's Jessica Biel.
Oh.
Jessica Biel.
Beale.
Yeah, that's right.
What a terrible movie.
Here's the thing: they were that movie, like it is clear in how it is shot, how much shit is in it, and because this is another story. They were shooting that movie. They had plans to have it set up a Jessica Biel Blade spinoff, where it wasn't Blade anymore. It was Jessica Biel.
Oh boy, see that's when Hollywood has their hands too deep.
Like, that's the thing. Wesley was an asshole to that entire crew, some unjustly and some justly, but they were fucking with him. And they were fucking with him, and we're fucking with the character that he loved. And we all saw how they did fucking Dracula dirty. Like, come on. So I'm gonna have to go pro Wesley on this, because he was fighting against the man at the time. He was fighting against the thing that we complain about all the time, which is studio involvement that makes the project
But
worse.
the way he handled it was completely wrong, and that's not being refuted. You're absolutely right. Dude wasn't. That's not how you necessarily go about it. But
I mean, how do you go
I don't
about
know.
it?
To be
Do you
honest,
you can't he can't quit.
he can't. He can't quit. You're right. I
You have
He can't walk off
I guess
set.
just I guess if you want to play the high road, just as a professional and an actor, just setting that example for all of them. Like, listen, even though shit's not going my way, I'm going to. The show must go on, kind of mentality. So still give your best. Don't be fucking fucked up in your fucking trailer the whole time. Just do what Blade would do and get it done. That's all I'm saying. Because hey, you never know. It may have, it possibly could have had the chance of getting a few more percentage points on Rotten Tomato if we would have saw Wesley that wasn't like, you know what, I'm gonna give it my all.
Okay, but the things wrong with that movie are have nothing to do with the final product has nothing to do with Wesley being wrong in that movie. Other than him CGIing his eyes open, that movie's fine. Or his part in that movie is fine. Like, in fact, he wanted to be in it more because they got stunt doubles to do a lot of the work he wanted to do. And he got pissed that they were making the stunt doubles do the stuff he'd been training to do.
Yes, he is an
Again,
actual martial artist.
because he is an actual martial artist. But yeah, like fucking Triple H has Pomeranians in that movie. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are parts of that movie. Ryan Reynolds is great in that movie. But he is so out of place in that universe. And that movie feels like it is more around the Ryan Reynolds character than it is around the Blade character.
Just had to come back in a red suit.
Yeah. And we can have that now. Imagine that reunion. Blade and Deadpool back together one more time.
Shit. Shit. I mean, I think Wesley will play along because he might need money.
I mean, I still need my fucking Marvel Knights property.
Oh yeah, we're getting Marvel Knights. That's coming. That's got to be coming. All right. So now that we've done movies, we've done Marvel through the years. You know, favorite games. Like, what's your favorite Marvel game? I feel like I already know Craig's, but maybe I don't. What's your favorite? Or I'm sorry, Beowulf's. What's your favorite Marvel game?
We've already said my name multiple times on the podcast. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but we haven't. Yeah, but we haven't said your last name. We haven't said Greg McGillicuddy.
Yeah, it's a great.
Letting the audience know that's not my actual last name.
Should not.
There's a story and none of you will ever know it. Anyway.
Sweet
No,
name.
we're talking.
The
We're
name
gonna
funny.
have that story one
That
day.
name is funny.
All right.
That's not even. I mean, that's two stories in one technically, because that's a podcast. That's not our podcast story, and that's that situation that I know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, back on topic.
On topic.
Yes. Favorite Marvel video game. Does Marvel vs. Capcom count?
You goddamn right it does.
Then it's Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh, Ultimate.
Yeah, Ultimate. I mean, it's straight up just a better game. So.
Yeah.
Straight upgrade, I should say.
How many Marvel characters are in that game?
It's a decent amount. Off the top of my head, I want to say... Well, fuck it. I'll look it up. I want to say it's like 20 or so.
I feel like it's more than 20. I feel like it's like 30.
Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3 roster.
Ultimate.
Yeah, specifically Ultimate. Now that site. All right, here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25.
Okay, 25, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. I mean, that's one of the best fighting games ever made. So it's easy to it's not a surprise that it's one of your best Marvel games.
Yeah, I very much
I
felt.
did not pick that for you. I'm pretty sure I think we had I don't know. I feel like there was this day where you were like, I want to buy Skullgirls or Marvel vs. Capcom. And I'm like, get Skullgirls. What are you doing?
Well, both of those games, Super Fighters, I'm very much in that niche of I'm better than everyone else I know who plays it, but I will get absolutely wrecked online. So,
Yeah. All right. And Jim, what about you?
First one's gonna be X-Men Legends for the PS2. That game was fucking badass. Um, I thought it was a little ahead of its time. There was some buggy things in it, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I felt like I got a good firsthand like dive into what it'd be like to be those characters. I felt like it did a really good job with that. I like the fighting game. The next game, man, it was so it was a game that started. Let me see if I can find it. The game was awesome, and it was kind of set in a kind of an RPG fashion, and you can max out
Mm-hmm.
characters. It had like hold on, let me find exactly. Sorry guys for this dead air, but I absolutely loved it. But they stopped. They just completely shut down the game one day. Like didn't tell any of its fans. Just like because there was like a money discrepancy because the X-Men was a part of this Marvel game. They just shut it down on all of us, dude. And it was so sad. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what game it is. It is right.
I mean, I'm assuming that's the MMO.
Yeah, it's MMO. It's called a damn Marvel Heroes Omega. Marvel Heroes
Okay,
Omega was
okay.
super super enjoyable. I loved it. I got a really good deep dive into a thick roster of characters, and it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. I can't believe it ended, but I understand why.
Hmm.
I mean, you could play from Ant Man, Moon Knight, Rocket Raccoon, freaking just it was huge.
Oh yeah, it was huge. Um,
Gwen, like everyone. It was
I mean, mine's easy. It's Sony Spider-Man for the PS4.
yep.
That's
yeah, that's
some
strong.
say
That's
some
wrong.
say it's the best superhero game ever made. I don't know about that, but God, that game is good. Long too, super dense, like, and just that swinging is on a whole nother level. I've played Miles. I played the Miles expansion, the Miles solo game, and I'm super excited to see how they take what they learned from Miles and apply it to that, because they did a lot of cool stuff with Miles because they were clearly experimenting with some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh yeah, that works. Some of that really
That
works.
game was really good, man. It made sure for me to keep a PS4. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That arguably, Yuri Lowenthal. Yuri is the best Spider-Man. Tom is great, and all the other ones are great, but Yuri's the best.
Always been a really big fan of his work.
Oh well, yeah. All right. Not sure how long we've been going, but
So approximately it has been 45 minutes.
shit.
Our podcasts are dense, man.
I mean, I've brought up every topic. If you guys got topics,
Well, let's.
because the reason that we're not doing the MCU is because someone here hasn't watched Endgame
Well, yes,
yet.
this is true. Okay, I'm getting caught up. I got caught up on the other two movies, which Civil War was awesome. Winter.
You know what? Give your Winter Soldier and then your Civil War review.
Okay. Winter Soldier. Um, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story behind it. I'm just, I guess the most exciting part for me was just waiting for Captain America to fight Bucky. Them fights were badass. I just, I'm so bothered by how much use of guns there is. Not saying that like I don't like guns, but like just for superheroes, man, I just figured they'd be a little bit more impervious to bullets. I feel like that at the end of the day, a bullet could end everyone. It was like, okay. And that's just like a side rant that I have going on with that. But I enjoyed Winter Soldier. Best part was the last fight against it was really shitty suit Captain America versus Super Saiyan rebooted Bucky. And coolest part at the end of the fight when Bucky is cold clocking him in the face. And them punches, I was like, ooh, that this is a fight. I was just really upset, like when he lifted the beam off of him and just like acted as if he's going to be normal again, was beyond foolish. And I think he could have done a different way. He could have left the beam on him and then been like, "Hey, do you remember me? Say this line. We're pals to the end." You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like that could have been accomplished at that point. So Winter Soldier was okay. Civil War was badass. Have a whole new respect for Tony Stark. That man's a monster. I always kind of discredited his suit and how advanced it was until I saw the part where, again, when he analyzed Captain America's moves, and I was like, that damn suit has that kind of capability. That is hard to fuck with. You got a Taskmaster feature on your suit. That's pretty damn cool. And Tony's just tough. He's so tough, and so that was really damn cool. I like Captain America. I have a weird thing with Captain America, but he is a badass. He is an absolute badass. Um, I'm not super impressed by Bucky. He's got a sweet ass arm. He can fight well. That's that's it. That arm, once that arm fell off, what was Bucky? He acted like a real bitch right after that.
I mean, that's Bucky.
Like he was real quiet after that, and you just saw the most badass fight between Captain America and Iron Man. Some
Yeah.
some balls to the wall, just getting it. I have mutual respect for both. Much more respect for Tony. The new Spider-Man that they have, didn't like him before. The kid's great. He's great. Paul Rudd's not bad as Ant-Man. I don't know who else I would have casted, but he does do a pretty good job. It's hard for me to not look at him and be like, fuck, it's Paul Rudd. You know what I mean? But like, uh, he does a good job. Man. And I'm in love with Black Widow. I'm in love with Scarlett Johansson. Hands down. I think I'd do anything for that woman. I mean it. She's, and I never used to find her that attractive until she became Black Widow, and I was like, oh, okay. I think that's I I think that's what I'd like my wife to be, Black Widow.
So a faceless assassin that can change into any
I don't
disguise.
care, man. I'm
Okay.
gonna be a stay-at-home dad, so I don't care what she does.
That's fair. Hawkeye's a stay-at-home dad,
But
so
no,
so yeah.
Civil War was great, man. It was really, really cool. I was glad to see them fight each other, and it still looked like they were still respecting each other. They weren't going. In all of the battles, it never got as serious as that last fight, and I'm glad I got to see the levels of that. Like they were sparring at the airport. They were just sparring, back and forth, making sure keep them away. Like that's it. When it was Tony and Cap, that was like, nah, bruh, I gotta lay you down. And if any of the other superheroes saw how those two were getting down when they did, they would have tried to step in way before it even got to that point. But it was good that they weren't there because god damn, they needed that scrap. Dude, that fight gave me goosebumps. I'm thinking about it right now, it gets me hyped because it's like, oh shit. they 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 I don't see them get this aggressive to enemies. Like they were on some shit right there, man. It was cool. It was great.
I mean, it is the culmination of their relationship up to that point. It is Tony all his life got shat on by his dad,
Yeah.
and his dad said nothing but good things about this guy, who is not as smart as Tony.
Right, dude.
And Steve has tried to live his life to a code to the best of his ability, and he has to basically be led around by this guy who, for the first half of his life, was a complete douchebag,
Mm-hmm.
a fucking warmongerer who never stepped on the battlefield at that time, and a debaucherous playboy.
Yep.
Their values could not be more different. At least their perceptive of their values could not be more different. And I mean, where do you guys fall on the Sokovia Accords?
That's a really good ass question. That is an incredible. That good question because I'm on Cap's side. Um, I think if you got the right people behind you with the right mindset, there's no need to be checked by anyone. I I I, I believe you built this team to you built this team with the trust that they can protect the world and leave it at that. And that knowing that their intent is not to kill anybody in the wake, but it is to stop the threat, and they're going to do it. And they're not doing it by any means necessary because they can. If they really wanted to get shit done fast, like in the boys, then they would have done it. Then they could have done it. But you can tell all their actions that some of the repercussions of their actions were by accident, not on purpose, not with intention. So I
Mm-hmm.
just I feel like their intent is right, and so that's why I do side with Cap because the other people who will have a hand in there and who will have a hand in what they're supposed to be doing have different agendas and are working for different people, and that's not good, in my opinion.
Bayo?
Well, in terms of the Marvel movies, I'm definitely on Cap's side. It's the incidents that trigger the want for the Sokovia Accords are really. I mean, okay, they're technically their faults, but if it if they were not there, like it would be something else,
Exactly.
and it would be a huge threat that no one could properly stop in a whole thing. I mean, yeah, like Thanos, he was inevitable, so
Yeah, fair, fair. Um, In terms of the Accords, I'm on Cap's side also. I think the Accords might be just flawed enough that you should always be on the side of Cap.
Right.
But
Which makes sense. I mean, the movie's called Captain America Civil War, not Avengers Civil War.
But Civil War did a good job of not making it feel like it was just featured for him. I felt like it was, I got a good in-depth feel of both sides through that one. That was crazy. It was not until I had to look at the title to remind myself, oh, this is a Captain America movie. You know what I mean? Like, I thought Civil War did a really good job of painting both sides. But
and also the final conflict has nothing to do with the Accords at all.
No.
So
Yeah.
that's justified. But yeah. I was just interested to see if anyone was pro Accords.
Yeah.
I understand where it comes from,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but if you really look at the situation and how it's going down, like Greg said, it would have been way worse. Remember when Captain America was talking to old boy who was getting ready to set up that bomb in the market, and then Wanda came up and concealed the bomb and kind of threw it off. Okay, how many more people could have died on that ground compared to what happened in the building? Not saying either one is right, but let's really analyze what could have happened and what did happen.
Yeah, I mean you're absolutely right. The problem, the playing devil's advocate is, hey, I'm Saudi Arabia or Turkey or Russia or China. You're telling me that the superhero team is led by Captain America? And they're supposed to protect my interests?
100%.
Wanda is apparently doesn't have any papers whatsoever. She's not in America, living in America, not an American, living in America without a birth certificate or any sort of identification. Vision is a synthetic human, which is on a whole nother spectrum
Facts, dude.
of what the fuck is going on there.
Facts.
And he was created by the guy that dropped a fucking city on Sokovia. And then you have Scarlet Witch, or not Scarlet, you have Black Widow, which is an international spy that's been fucking around in all these countries for decades. It's when you're sitting down with these people that you've known for years, that's one thing. But if you're just hearing about this in a backwaters part of the country and you've got one vote in the fucking what is it called, in the UN, yeah, maybe you're not that keen on them just coming to your fucking country and just having a ball, having an enthusiastic walk through your country, as Alucard would say.
I understand where that comes from.
Okay. That was an hour, right? We did an hour?
We are approximately 40 seconds away from an hour.
Okay.
So,
I mean... Well, here is my essay on how Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is the best Marvel movie ever made.
There will be a podcast for all the bad shit. Trust me. That will be like the part 3 of this podcast.
Why did they cast Nicolas Cage?
Because he wanted it.
What does that mean, guys?
He wanted to be
What
Superman.
does that mean? Oh my gosh. You just can get to any level of actor and be like, I would like this, please. And they're like,
Well, here's the thing. Well, here, one of many things. Cage isn't his real last name.
What's his real last name?
Coppola.
Wow, Cage is way better.
Well,
He didn't get it.
okay.
I didn't get it.
He's related to Francis Ford Coppola, who is an old person that was in movies that is important.
Oh, he's a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Boo!
Much in the way that Charlie Sheen is a legacy.
Got it. That's good. Well, that sucks. If you could have,
I mean, it
if
doesn't.
you could have recast,
I mean, he loves.
if you could have recasted Ghost Rider, who would you have picked?
For that movie specifically.
100%. Don't change anything else but Cage.
Ugh. I have a pick. You guys go first.
I have a pick too, but I know it's very much colored by my personal perception.
Let me see. Okay. Ooh, you guys go. Or actually, Craig, you go ahead and throw yourself.
All right, here's my fucking pick. You ready?
Ready.
Pedro Pascal.
Before he got big. Wow.
Well, it's a niche movie. Hey, it would work.
It would, yeah.
Yeah,
Why Pedro?
that's a good one, man. I like that one.
I feel like the kind of what they were going for with Johnny in that movie, where he's got that kind of daredevil charisma, but he's trying to play it cool. I feel like that works really well with what Pedro does.
That's like the complete opposite of my pick. I'm surprised.
Yeah, like I said, the pick is out there.
Oh yeah.
And I really only like it because I've seen what Pedro's been in lately, and I really enjoy what he's doing.
You guys aren't gonna like mine.
Go for it. Go for it.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen?
Yep, I said it.
Fuck is...
So he's.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look up a Clive Owen.
Do you remember the movie? Sin City.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Super cool guy.
Mhm.
All right.
He's a badass.
Wow. God, you guys are doing all these cool.
He could have been a cool ass Ghost Rider, man. What was that crazy ass movie that he did? I remember like him shooting while he was having sex and shit. It was Shoot 'Em Up. Shoot 'Em Up,
Shoot 'Em
dude,
Up.
was like, what is going on? That was crazy.
All right. All right. My pick. I'm not saying mine is better, but personally for me, for what I wanted to see from that movie, what was lacking from that movie and that character, and the time period, Johnny Knoxville.
Whoa, hold on. Okay, go on.
You're leaning right into.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like unlimited charisma, fucking daredevil, fucking just do it, laughing all the way, fucking flaming skull laughing all the way, just taking hits. Yeah.
I agree with all
Fucking
of that.
Johnny
I guess the grit part though, I don't get from him. The grittiness that Ghost Rider displays sometimes, I don't know if he could always sell it for me.
Honestly, anytime I think of Johnny Knoxville, I think about his role in fucking
Ringer?
Men in Black 2.
I think.
What was that?
Go ahead.
It was Men in Black 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
Actually, the most prominent role I think of him is Walking Tall with Dwayne the Rock Johnson when he goes back to town and he's the sheriff with him. He did pretty damn good. I'm not even gonna lie. I enjoyed Johnny in that. I enjoyed Johnny Knoxville. I'm glad you brought him up. Like that is a nice. That makes me want to watch a Jackass movie.
Like someone who can display being in constant pain. Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right, so I'm on fire in this scene. All right, set me on fire. Like, plus he's not a bad actor.
He's not.
I think you could.
He's
really...
not a bad actor. He is.
No, he's not.
I agree. And he's always done a good job of staying in his lane. We haven't seen him do anything that was like too serious, where he couldn't just be Johnny.
I know him and
Walking Tall. That's what he was in. That's right.
Jackie Chan have a movie together.
Wow, I can't believe you remember that, friend. Go ahead if you can say it, dude. It's a weird name.
Yeah, it's a weird but simple name.
Yes.
I have the power of the internet. Skip this.
What the was that?
Okay.
Right. Skip Trace.
All right, pop
Which
quiz, motherfuckers.
Hold on.
Who do you cast in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Jackie Chan?
What? What do you mean?
If Jackie Chan wanted to get into the Marvel Universe, who would you cast him as?
Iron Fist?
Oh.
Artie Fist already been cast.
Never mind.
Dude.
Let me go ahead and find it.
Mandarin's already been cast, dude. So get your racist picks out of the way.
Alright.
Just throw fucking Jackie
I
Chan
know,
in
man. What are we supposed to do with that? Okay, hold on. We're gonna find something, man. We're gonna find something.
Okay. Maybe not. All right. Superhero or villain? I won't even stick it to Marvel. Just superhero or villain.
Oh, he's not a villain. Jackie has never been a villain.
Fing Fang Foom? I don't fucking know.
He is a good voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure he is the monkey in Kung Fu Panda.
Man, that's a tough one. Man.
What villain is Fing Fang Foom usually?
Iron Man? No,
think...
Iron Fist.
I guess.
But it's a dragon.
Hey, it is a dragon, but he really only ever has that one interaction with the dragon.
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is...
You know, I have two in my head. I got one Marvel, one DC.
I have a DC. That one was a little easier for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I have...
I think ours is completely different, though.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, I know so, because mine's out there.
Is it? Okay. So yeah, it probably is.
But my Marvel, I would have him as Stick. Stick is Daredevil's mentor.
I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with that? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. You're gonna hate my DC pick.
Probably.
My DC pick would be Blue Beetle. That would be my...
Jackie's like super old.
So I didn't know which Jackie we're casting.
Oh,
I took Prime Jackie.
I mean,
That's how I took it.
Prime Jackie. Oh, I was thinking current
Okay,
Jackie.
then that really makes it tough.
I mean, there are multiple Blue Beetles, so he could be the legacy Blue Beetle. But wow,
But if we're doing Jackie as now, okay, that
I mean, I'll just start the hate comments right now. I'd cast him as Raish. Raish Al Ghul.
Oh wow.
Maybe it's just me. It may just be me. I cannot see Jackie in like a more serious role like that.
Really? You know what? You're totally right because he almost never does serious roles. But I've seen, I forget what it's called, but it's the one where he's fucking with the IRA. He is super serious in that.
I will say at the very least, I feel Raish more than fucking Stick.
Fair.
And this Jackie, yeah, dude, that's
All right. Well,
I can't give you one for him. I'm gonna be honest right now. I can't think of one.
all right. Well, I guess we can call it.
Yeah, now's a good time to call it, I would say.
Yeah. Next on One Bit at a Time, we actually fucking do the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we get an Endgame review
Woo woo.
from Jim himself. Actually, watch the fucking
I'm
movie.
going to watch it. Shut up.
I believe in
watch
you.
Let's watch it tomorrow. Are you doing anything tomorrow?
No, I do have an open mic.
I know you open. I made sure that you opened.
Yes, I work tomorrow.
Okay.
And I may have an open mic, but I can go to that one later, so I'm not too worried about it. I have time to watch it.
No, what time is your open mic?
It starts at 8.
And when does it end?
It ends at 11.
I'm down.
Yeah, I don't work the day after, so I'm good.
11 tomorrow.
All right.
Endgame.
In game. It's in the game. Cool.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Love all the people out there. We'll see you guys next time on the One Bit at a Time podcast. Stay classy. Tell us in the comments your favorite Marvel, or when the spirit of Marvel first touched you. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
See you.